So, good morning. It's Saturday, September 12th, and I'm in a part of Nanjing that is a new area. Behind me, right behind my shoulder, right there is the Fairmont Hotel. That hotel was built brand new for the Youth Olympics, which was last year. And now you've got Fairmont Hotel at the top of the floor. You can actually see the Yangtze River. And apparently there's even at the highest level, there's a pool with a beach, that kind of thing. So if you want to experience the beach life in Nanjing and see the Yangtze River, that's the place to go to. What I'm going to go do on this trip is we're going to go to, we take a special trolley, which is it's the first in the world where it doesn't have electric line that goes along the track. So some trolleys have it coming from the bottom of the track, and some have it at the top. And then this one, or the trolleys have a cable pulling, like in San Francisco. Technically, that's not a trolley; it's something else. Cable car. That's a cable car. But here, there's only a power at the station. So you can see right there. There's a power right there. And how it works, and from what I understand, this is a bombardier trolley system. And how it works is that understand that there's a supercapacitor in the trolley itself, and when it comes into the station, there's electrodes that go up, hit those points right there. It charges up the supercapacitor, and then it retracts, and it goes to the next station. The benefit of this type of train line is that it's much more cost-effective to install in a city. So that's what we'll do, and then after that, we're going to go and walk along the greenway, a little bit of the greenway at the Yangtze River, and near that area, there's a new building that looks like the spaceship Enterprise landed, kind of thing. So next, we'll wait for one of the trains to come in, and we can take a look at that. So here's the trolley coming in, and as you can see, there's nothing at the top that pulling electricity. What I'll try to do is, as it comes in, we'll try to get a shot of it, of the electric parts coming up, if that's possible. So the way it works is I have to use my... So that's how it works. I didn't see the power go up. I'm just going to go, I think, one stop.
The next station is Expo Center East Station. We are now at Jiangshan Daji Station. Please get off at left side towards Wanning direction.
江山大街站到了，此站可到达青奥村、南京眼、步行桥、保利大剧院，请站稳扶好，注意开门。
So there we can see the power, pulling off power right there. And you'll see it exit out. So it was interesting, and that last the stop with that I got on, I didn't see the actual rails go up, so maybe it doesn't go up all the time. You see that building right there? I think that's Nanjing opera, or it's some big theater at the bottom at least. Well, I consider that the Star Trek building or the Enterprise building because it looks like the engines on the back of the Starship Enterprise. So we're going to walk over there and take a closer look at that, and that's right on the edge of the Yangtze River, and we'll see a bit of the Greenway. Well, here goes nothing. I'm in a very windy situation here, and we'll see how well the sound picks up. I'm going to make a link right over here for how I made this mic. It's a bit of design process. It's a separate video from this, so if you're interested to see what this big black thing is for and how I got there, watch that video. So behind us we have the Star Trek looking building. I'll see if I can zoom up a bit. Well, we can't zoom with this camera, but you can see how it looks like what I would say the Star Trek engines. But what we're at right now is, let's see if I circle around. We're on a bridge. It's actually a pedestrian bridge. It's a huge pedestrian bridge. This is typical of China, where everything is just massive. Anywhere else in the world, this would be for cars, but here it's for people. And let's see if we can zoom, or not zoom, but look down there. We can see a bit of the river, and we can see the bit of the Greenway. The Greenway goes through in that way, and this bridge actually doesn't go to the other side of the Yangtze. There's an island in between in Nanjing, between the one side to the other side. So the other side of the Yangtze is called Puko, and this island doesn't. It's a separate island. Apparently, the Singapore government got a 100-year lease on this island, so it'll be interesting to see what type of developments happen on this island. I think we're going to see Eaton House is a school. It's a Singaporean school, so maybe we'll see an Eaton House school on this island, and it'll be interesting to see just how they develop it. Right now, if you actually go to the island, it feels like you've gone back in time, probably 20 or 30 years. I have a little boy here. You want to say hello? Hello? Hello?
Hi. Hello?
Hello? Hello? How are you doing?
So I'm playing.
You're playing?
So I'm playing.
You're playing.
你打招呼，你说我叫什么名字呀？在哪个幼儿园？
All right, thank you.
好 ，thank you 了，跟叔叔拜拜。
Hey, there's another example of people being very friendly in China. So I'm going to just stop the video and we'll see if we get another angle of this bridge. So that's the Nanjing Youth Olympics mascot. And that's at the top of this bridge. I'll pivot around so you can see the other aspects. Oh, yeah, there's the... Yeah, you can see, because this is an inlet off the Yangtze River, we don't see a lot of traffic. If we were on the main part of the Yangtze, it's just a super highway with so many boats. So this little river inlet does not give justice to what we see on the Yangtze River. And then that's that island that doesn't have a lot on it right now. You'll go on it and you see this lot of old buildings there. When I say old, 50-year-old buildings. That's old for China. So I said in China 50 years is old for a building, and it's a bit of it's not 100% clear about that. There are buildings in China that are thousands of years old, but those are probably deemed as more historical value. But if you find there's no value in an old farmhouse, so at least from my understanding. So an old farmhouse will be destroyed and a new building will be put in. So in this country versus in the United States, where there's a lot of value in an old building, the old building will not be necessarily destroyed. It will be restored and reused. But here it will be just wiped off, and they'll start a brand new building. And if you look at, for the most, all the new architecture, it's very bold in the style. For instance, that Star Trek style building. I don't think we would see a building like that in the U.S. So from an architectural standpoint, I would say that in the U.S. it's much more conservative in their designs, versus in China it's different. Everyone's being very bold in the architectural designs. It almost feels like if you think about Chicago, and that's a city known as skyscrapers, and that's the reason why is because they had the Great Chicago Fire. And after that, there was this lots of opportunity to reinvent the city. And so if you look at the early history of Chicago, you've got very innovative designs within architecture. Well, the same thing is happening within China, but it's because the economy is growing. People want to show the world that China is not a third world country. It's not backwards. They're moving on. They're moving up. And so we see very bold architectural designs. At least that's my perception. That's my perspective on why they would design in that way. Also, they because they're up and coming, they want to adopt everything that is new. So an old farmhouse does not have value, and so we don't see a lot of old buildings more than 50 years old. And if we do, they're going to be destroyed. So there are like old neighborhoods within the city that have nice little alleyways, and they're being destroyed for big apartments. So I wanted to just show you, this is the island. And if we look off into the distance, I'll try to get my finger over here. I don't know if we can see it. There's some really of those old style farm buildings that probably in 10 years won't exist. What's interesting about this island, it's very green. You just go across the river and we can see apartment complexes galore. And then you come over here and it's a green oasis in the city. And it'll be interesting to see how that is developed in the next 10 years. Will it stay green, or will we also see skyscrapers here? Okay, we're getting closer to the end of this video series that I'm making, but I just wanted to do a shot of the Star Trek building, as I call it, and then the bridge. So we're going to pan, and you're going to see the context of where we had just filmed, and that was on a bridge overlooking the river, and the context of where that is and everything. So here I'm going to pan. There's the bridge, that's the first part. You couldn't get the context of it when I was on it. So that's the massive pedestrian bridge that we were just on. So I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to give you context to where we were. So that's the bridge. And I'm going to rotate the screen. And what we have here is it's a greenway, and it's this pathway actually goes across the whole length of Nanjing as a city. So it goes along the Yangtze River, and it's about 25 miles long in distance. And each part has a different kind of character to it. In future videos, what I'll try to do is I'll just visit different parts of it, so you can get a feel of the different aspects of it. But for now, I'm going to close the video at this point, because I think we've covered a lot for today, and put this all together and then post it on YouTube and share it with the world. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.